Hello, welcome to Astronautics for Exploit. This is Dr. Ayenshola Ogunile. Second space race, the space race 2.0, characterized with evolution of private space companies. The focus points are as follows. Second space race and rationales behind second space race. The second space race is space race 2.0, characterized by development of space infrastructure that will aid low-cost access to space to millions of space tourists, commenced with the successful space flight of SpaceShipOne in 2004. Some of the drivers of Space Race 2.0 are private companies, commercialization, space tourism, increase in investment, technological advancement, space resources, economic and national security, and others. Various private space companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic are growing exponentially. They are part of the determinants of the second space race, with ambitious plans to reduce launch costs, revolutionize technology, and make space accessible to interested space tourists via space tourism. SpaceX is developing reusable rockets, satellite internet, Starlink, and Mars colonization ambitions. Blue Origin attention is directed at lunar landers and space tourism, while Virgin Galactic space exploration endeavor is towards suborbital space tourism. In Space Race 2.0, attention is focused on moon exploration. The perception that water ice deposits necessary for maintaining a long-term presence on the moon is likely to be in the moon's south pole makes it to be of interest for exploration to several nations such as United States, China, Russia, and India. In an effort to explore moon, Russia launched Lunar 25. Japan, through JAXA and iSpace, launched a lunar landing to the moon in 2023, and China launched lunar missions and returned lunar samples to the Earth. And United Arab Emirates sponsored a rover on the Akuto R mission. Second space race. The second space race, which is the second phase of the space age, is an era of commercial and private space exploration and investment that began in 2004 with the successful flight of SpaceShipOne. It is characterized by several factors. In the second race, the space aperture is open to other countries as well as private industry. The picture here illustrates escort aerospace suborbital spacecraft. During the second space race, there was the rapid advancement in space exploration and commercialization that began after the Cold War. The second space age is a space age where the space aperture is open to other countries. Artist's concept of a ZS Robotics commercial lunar lander is illustrated in this picture. Rationales behind second space race are as follows. Private companies, commercialization, space tourism, increasing investment, technological advancement, space resources, economic and national security, and international collaborations and partnership. Private companies. The second space race, brought about by the competition in space exploration, is driven by private companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic, led by Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson. NASA is increasingly partnering with private companies to accomplish its missions. The private companies are competing to achieve advancements in space travel, including space tourism, satellite internet, and lunar landings, marking a shift from the government-led space race of the past. Illustration of Virgin Galactic suborbital space tourism vehicle is shown in this picture. SpaceX is one of the most prominent private space companies, leading in reusable rockets, human spaceflight, and satellite internet, and plan to colonize Mars. Blue Origin focuses on space tourism and lunar landing technology, while Virgin Galactic primarily targets suborbital space tourism. Before his death in 2018, Paul Allen was a major player in the space race through the aerospace division of his firm, Vulcan, and its financing of programs such as SpaceShipOne Allen sought to reduce the cost of launching payloads into orbit. The picture here illustrates SpaceX rocket carrying NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance rover. Commercialization. The commercialization of space was made possible by giant leaps in technology. During the 20th century, space exploration required vast resources and capital, limiting the players to nation-states with deep pockets. However, as technology evolved, the cost of launching payloads into orbit began to decrease. Unlike the first space race, the second space race is largely driven by commercial interests, with companies seeking to generate revenue through space tourism, satellite launches, and other space-based services. The picture here shows illustration of Blue Origin New Shepard. Space tourism. Private companies such as Virgin Galactic, Blue Origin, and SpaceX are competing to make space more accessible to the public. Virgin Galactic intends to offer tourist flights from a spaceport American in New Mexico. Blue Origin seeks to establish an industry base in space, and SpaceX is engaging in space tourism activities. Suborbital space tourism by Blue Origin is illustrated in this picture. Space tourism. SpaceX Polaris Dawn was a private crew spaceflight operated by SpaceX on behalf of Shift4 CEO Jad Isaacman and was launched on 10 September 2024. The crew performed the first commercial spacewalk. Axiom 2 was private astronaut mission to the International Space Station, set by Axiom. The picture here illustrates SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, which launched Polaris Dawn mission to low Earth orbit on September 10, 2024. Increase in investment. The influence of private capital is accelerating the development of new space technology and applications. Competition between private companies and their increase in investment is driving down the cost of space access, making space exploration more accessible. Starlink satellites tagged together before deployment on 24 May 2019 is illustrated in this picture. Technological advancements have played a significant role in the second space race, which is characterized by economic and military interest. The second space race is propelling various technological advancements, such as reusable rockets, miniaturized satellites, and commercial spacecraft. The picture here illustrates International Space Station. Space resources. Private companies are competing to access and utilize space resources like minerals on asteroids or water ice on the moon, primarily driven by economic potential and technological advancement, unlike the first space race, which was primarily focused on geopolitical dominance during the Cold War between the US and Soviet Union. The potential space resources include water ice on the moon, rare earth metals on asteroids, and helium-3, a potential fuel source for nuclear fusion reactors. An artist's concept of a mining settlement on the double asteroid Antiope is shown in this picture. Economic and national security. The second space race is a competition in space that involves economic and national security interests. The space economy is growing rapidly, and the nation that leads in space may become the world's leading military power. Some factors that contribute to the economic and national security importance of space are economic dominance, space infrastructure, and space communication. The picture here shows a conceptual illustration of a trans-astral Walker-B craft on its first asteroid mining flight mission. International collaboration and partnership. In the second space race, international collaboration and partnerships are becoming increasingly important as countries work together to achieve ambitious space exploration goals. Sharing the financial burden of expensive space missions across multiple countries make ambitious projects more feasible. The picture here illustrates astronauts from different companies on board the space station. For more information, contact Astronautics for Exploits. You've been listening to Second Space Race, the Space Race 2.0, presented by Dr. Anyashola Ogundele, with the focus point, Second Space Race. and resonates behind second space race. Thank you.